I wanted an adjustable routing template, so I came up with this design modeled closely after the Festool MFS multi-routing template system. It's loaded with T-tracks. It fits clamps from either side. And is infinitely adjustable with these pocket screw bolts. So clamp this down. Grab a router, load it up with a guide bushing, and make some really cool cutouts. An indispensable accessory for your router, and in this video I'll show you how to make your own. Here I'm ripping the material to width, 3/4 inch plywood, 80 millimeters wide. Now is the perfect time to sand the surface. Yes, it will keep our hands free of splinters, but the main reason to sand now is because if we wait until after we route the profiles, the surface becomes much more intricate and it's more difficult to sand without breaking any of the fine edges. If you have a linear sander, this is the perfect time to use it. Unlike an orbital sander, a linear sander, when sanding with the grain, there will be virtually no chance of tear out or breakage on the edges, something that could be an issue with an orbital sander on narrow stock like this. Now, if you don't have a linear sander, I'd recommend just sanding gently by hand. Use some fairly fine sandpaper, as both linear sanding and hand sanding can leave fairly coarse scratch marks. So I'm using 320 grit. For the first routing operation, I'm using this white side keyhole bit. There will be more information in the description, but it's a 1/2 inch diameter and is the size for our clamp slot. To make the clamp slot, the bit is set 5/8 of an inch from the fence and 1/8 above the table. This is actually only 3/16 of an inch tall, but I need a slot that's 1/4 of an inch high. So this will be the first pass. The next pass I'll add this extra 16th here, and that'll bring the total height of the cutout of the track to 1/4 of an inch. Off camera, I cut the original piece of material in half, just so it's easier to manage on the router table. Now I'll be routing 2 profiles on each piece, one from each side, to accommodate the clamps. Having repositioned the bit, we can make the second pass. Time for a test fit. Works great. So we now have the 2 T-tracks for our clamp slots. We still need 2 T-tracks on the side to allow the profiles to connect to each other using the pocket hole, the pocket screw, that will go through the middle. A pocket hole is actually at a 15-degree angle, so we need these T-tracks on the sides to also match that 15-degree angle. In order to do that safely and precisely at the router table, I'm here at the miter saw to make a 15-degree fence. Let's take a look at how that's done. I'll tilt the head to 15 degrees. If I make a cut now with the head off 90 degrees, I'll ruin my zero clearance insert. Because I don't want to swap this in and out every time, what I like to do in this situation is use the depth limit and a sacrificial piece of material so that now the blade will not hit the bottom of the table, but it will still function because it'll reach the bottom, it'll reach the sacrificial material. So I'll clamp this down, grab the material for our router fence, and I'll cut one more piece. So we'll use this to make our 15-degree fence for the router. And here's that 15-degree fence contraption all set up. Used some 2x2 material to raise the height of this second level so that there is full support of the workpiece on infeed and outfeed sides. If you don't feel safe making this cut, please don't do it. If you do decide to try, make sure you're using some kind of router push block. This is now the smaller keyhole bit. Again, I'll have details in the description. The bit height and fence location was just a matter of trial and error. Made some test cuts until I was happy with the result. But for reference, I measured after the fact. This is about 3/16 from the fence, and the height is just under 1/4 inch. Well, I just finished this first piece of the guide, but I realized that I made a mistake. This pocket hole should have been drilled on this face. And that's because when this is put together, I want all the pocket holes to be on the top. But that won't work out because these T-tracks needed to be this way in order for the pocket screw to go in like that. And on this piece, the pocket screw will be going up rather than down. So what I think I can do is drill another pocket hole here, and I'll just ignore this one. And, well, there are the profiles. 2 400mm length and 2 200mm length. Remember, I messed this hole up, so this one only has a hole from one side. That's okay. Now I'm just going to install these machine screws. And there's a little nut for each one. So how this will work now is the nut just slides into this T-track, just like that. As you can imagine, these profiles can be cut to any length, so the possibilities really are limitless. You can join them on together, make a very intricate template. Thanks for watching to the end of this video. It's actually a pretty special one for me, as it's the first video since hitting 1,000 subscribers sometime last week. And that's just insane. The support has been tremendous. I'm not good with thank yous, but it's incredible, and that's what keeps this content going. I hope you continue to join me as I evolve my woodworking knowledge and share tips and tricks with you along the way. Moving forward, I'll be moving to a production schedule that'll be a new video on the first Friday of every month, and I'm not going to spoil what's coming up, but I guarantee that you won't be disappointed in the coming months. So thanks again for watching, and I'll see you soon.